Kenneth, oh no, your Alliance Horde only until 9.2.5. That's right. That's right. Then we'll start to be able to invite Alliance. And just so you know, Kenneth, I'm a long-time Alliance player. I went Horde so I'd be able to raid with my buddies and stuff. But I've played Alliance my whole wild life, up until BFA. Yeah, barely any Alliance streamers on. Yeah, I know. I know. It'll all change in 9.2.5. That's alright. Yeah, I think the lag is getting fixed. Yeah, most have gone Horde. Most are in my same situation, right? Most Alliance have fallen in the same hard times as I did, where you couldn't get a raid in Alliance. It was hard to play. None of your buddies were playing Alliance anymore. It's just like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Horde are better. Horde became better for raiding in the beginning. A lot of guilds went Horde, and it continued to happen. It continued to happen. Yeah, as I was saying, it's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The Horde were better at raiding early on, and then it got balanced, but already all the guilds had gone Horde. And then say a guild goes Horde, buddy wants to play with another buddy, well, he's going Horde. And now you have the problem where there just aren't enough Alliance raiders, so then more people who want to raid go Horde. That's essentially where I came in. I wanted to be able to form groups for raid, and there were just not enough Alliance players to do it. I mean, shit. Asmongold, with his 66k viewers, right? He has trouble forming up a group on the Alliance. So what about the rest of it? You know, what about everyone else? Look how many raids we used to get, man. Look how many raids were in Wrath of the Lich King. What the hell? Compared to this expansion. Look at the content difference. My god. Crazy. Binds, no, it's bind on pickup. Yeah, it's not tradable. I think if you have it, you could trade it. Maybe. I don't know. Wrath was the golden days of raids. After that, it fell off. Yeah, Wrath was when, like, really when I started raiding. Like, my first raid experience. Well, actually, no, I take that back. My first raid experience was Karazhan, back in BC. Raiding Karazhan was awesome. The nostalgia I have for Karazhan is still strong. I still remember getting geared enough to finally be able to do raid and how I thought it was amazing. I went in there, I was so nervous. Like Eminem says, palms sweaty, knees are heavy. That's how I felt going in, right? And I went in with my mage, I still remember. And it was just an epic feeling. And we didn't clear it that whole day. We didn't clear the whole raid, but man, it was exciting. Settling in for a night raid. I was in high school at the time. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday night. And I still remember my mom came to the office. She was knocking on the door. She was like, "Hey, aren't you gonna go to sleep?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm a pro player now. I'm raiding. What are you doing? Leave me alone. I got a raid. I'll be up like in 6 hours." And I think I stayed up that day till we raided until like 3, 4 in the morning. That was awesome. And obviously I did Gruul's Lair and shit too. I never did Black Temple. I was never good enough to do Black Temple back then. So that's why I really want to do it. Like if we can, if we get time walking Black Temple back next month, I really want to do a Black Temple viewer raid. I think that'd be awesome. And then in Wrath, I did the Vault all the time. The Vault was awesome. I still remember my friend and I led 2 different groups in the Vault, and we ninja looted the Mammoth Elephant. The Mammoth Mount. Still have it, of course. Yes. The Black War Mammoth. Here he is. Still have him. This was the one that he ninja looted to me, and I returned the favor and ninja looted it to him once. Good old days. Yeah, that was fun. I did Nax, of course. I did Nax. Ulduar I did as well. The cinematic for Ulduar was great. I remember the hype around that when it came out. When did I start playing? It was like late 2005, early 2006 when I started playing World of Warcraft. But I was level 58 when BC came out. Right? So BC came out. I had never hit cap level in Classic. I had never hit cap level. But I was ready to do BC content when it came out, because if you remember, you could go to Hellfire Peninsula as soon as you hit level 58. So that was great. Was there a lock? Sebs? You have a 257 lock? Yeah, sure. Tell me what his in-game name and server is. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time back then. And Nixia's Lair I did as well. Icecrown Citadel I did, but very late in the expansion. Very late. Love the vanilla grind. Yeah, man. It was like freaking years of leveling back then. I mean, back then you used to have to read the quest text. I still remember I was playing Alliance. I'd be like in Westfall. I'd be like, head to the northeastern part of Westfall. There you will find a farmer who is in dire need of help to clear what's it called? To clear the Scarlet Crusade from his farmlands or whatever. Yep. Reading quest texts. That was what we used to have to do back then. Or like the craziness of Ungoro Crater and the amount of mobs that you could aggro. The T-Rex that would just fucking one-shot you. Yeah, that was classic WoW leveling, man. Classic WoW leveling. It's a good time. And I played on PvP server, so obviously you had to deal with that too. You had to deal with the PvP aspect of it. Yeah, the community was so different. It was. It was. I wish I did the quest chain for the original Nixia sword. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never did it either. I'm Marcin if you need a pally. Sure, Marcin, welcome. Lock Blasta. Gotcha. Why is Blue Elephant laughing? Yeah, but I did a lot of these raids. I did. Wrath was when I really started to raid a lot. Cataclysm, I did Throne of the Four Winds, Blackwing Descent, Firelands, and Dragon Soul. I did all those. Mists of Pandaria, I fell off a little bit. I was an undergrad and I had to study and all this shit and things were getting in the way. So I didn't do a lot of raiding. Even though I hear Throne of Thunder was amazing. I actually never did it. I never did Throne of Thunder. And then Warlords, I did all the raiding. Legion, I did all the raiding. All the raids I did. Nighthold was my favorite. Battle for Azeroth, I did all the raiding. Did all the shit. Shadowlands, done it all. Not that there's much of it to do. And started my my viewer raids in Sanctum of Domination. Actually, I started viewer raiding in Sanctum of Domination, but I started streaming raids in Castle Anathria. And here we are today. Sepulchre of the First Ones, viewer raiding. Throne of Thunder is one of the best WoW patches. Yes, that's what I always hear. I always hear it's very good. Epic's back. He said back in the chat, I took a week off of work in Wrath to clear Ulduar with the guild. That's awesome. Man, the commitment back then was just different. It was just different. Alright, we got our Warlock, so hopefully we summoned him. Me and my friend were looking back yesterday, and Mop was low-key, arguably best expansion. It's right up there with Legion. The raids were amazing, the dungeons were short to the point, and the systems were good. Mists of Pandaria, I agree, is a very underrated expansion. As I start talking about it, the Mists of Pandaria music starts. I think Mist was a very underrated expansion. People couldn't get over the panda thing. Like, people got very angry about the whole panda race and all that stuff, and some people just didn't like the aesthetic of Pandaria. And that unfortunately caused them to overlook the fact that it was a very good expansion. My friend and I, we were like, you know, we played all the time together back then. We leveled through the entire, we leveled through all of Pandaria together. We played a lot. The dungeons, I agree, were great. They were quick. They felt pretty, like, just hard enough, but not too hard. And like I said, I mean, everyone tells me Throne of Thunder is one of the best WoW patches ever. I'm very sad that I missed out on it, personally. But I wasn't playing that much at the time. I was, like, really focused on trying to just pass my classes and do good in school and shit. I was being a good boy. A good old boy. Because Mists of Pandaria... So Cataclysm came out when I was a freshman in undergrad, and then Mists of Pandaria came out junior year, like middle of undergrad. And it was like a hard year for me. I think I was taking like an extra class so I could graduate in 4 years and all this shit, so WoW fell to the wayside. Even though my sub was still active. I don't think my sub has been active 90% of my life as far as my WoW life goes. My sub barely ever falls off. Biggest turnoff for me about MoP was the change to the talent tree. I wish they never changed it. Well, yeah, I think Blizzard wishes they never changed it too, because it looks like they're changing it back in Dragonflight, so that's good. When I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck, pandas? But then it hit really good. Great content, so many good fights. Our guys were into it. We had 3 raid teams, all near the top of Storm Rage. Oh, man, that's awesome. Yeah, same thing. When I saw the cinematic, you know, where the panda comes in, you guys remember the look of that cinematic with the human and the orc and everything? I thought the same thing. I was like, what the fuck is this? But honestly, we didn't care. I still remember my friends and I, and my cousins. Mind you, this is when you used to buy the box, right? We were still buying the box. We went to Best Buy late at night and got it. We got the box, and I remember the box came with a poster, right? It came with a Mists of Pandaria poster. I don't know if you guys remember this in the box. We took the poster. Oh, no, it didn't come with the box. It was a thing that Best Buy was doing. They had a setup for Mists of Pandaria for the launch of it. They were open for it, and they were giving out Mists of Pandaria posters. That's what it was, with the box. So we went back to my place. We were downloading the game, and we taped the posters up in my parents' office, because that's where my PC was. We taped it. They had glass doors on the office. We taped the posters up on the glass doors, and we did it a Mists of Pandaria night. And we played until like 3, 4 in the morning that night. We installed the game, which took some time, and then we played. While it was installing, we just fucking ordered pizza and shit, and talked about how excited we were to play. Yeah, it was a good time. I kind of miss the boxes, man. I still have them at my parents' house, too. I have all the boxes up until Warlords. Warlords was the last box game I bought. And then it became like you purchase online and all that shit. I stopped buying the boxes.